We mentioned in the last shir that from the Zohar that before the Gula comes, the Erev Rav are going to come and make an attempt to violate, to remove any Nakuda of Kedusha from the Torah. Right? That's Chochmah Sofrim Tisrach. Right? And they point out that it's going to come from the Erev Rav. It's going to come from the Erev Rav. Right? Now, I want to share with you something that was revealed to me on Shabbos. We all know there's a movement of Bali Tshuva, the Baal Tshuva movement, but there's another movement, there's people who are Choser B'Tshuva. There's another movement called Choser B'Sheila. People are asking questions, and because of the questions, they're leaving Torah today. The Bali Tshuva are coming back, and the Choser B'Sheila are leaving, right? And it's an interesting name that they chose, Choser B'Sheila, It implies they have a lot of very, very poignant, sharp questions, and because of that, they're leaving. The Bali Tshuva have tshuvas, and the Bali Sheila have questions. Because of those questions, they're leaving. So there's a famous story with Rav Chaim Brisker. He was once visited by one of his Talmidim. He said, Rebbe, I have this question, I'm dropping everything. I have the following questions. He told him, you don't really have questions, you have answers. Yeah? You have answers, and you're designing your questions based on your answers. So we have to realize that today, that these Bali Sheila, right, they are making an attack on the Torah, right? This chilul that Chazal promised before the Gula, it's happening in front of our eyes. And I'm going to share with you a few things that are going on. Yeah, I'm not going to say any names because for privacy purposes, but there's a very chashuv sefer in this Beis Medrash. I won't mention which one it is. We'll keep it vague still. And his daughter became a Bali Sheila. Yeah? And she took upon herself the task of destroying the Olam HaTorah. Yeah? Destroying the Olam HaTorah. She was one of the major people behind the Chaim Waldner case. And now she has some new victims. Yeah? And we're going to see what's going to happen in the next few weeks, whether she'll be triumphant or not in her thing. But Lamaisa, I want to speak about this a little bit, a getter of Refuah Kodem Lamaka, yeah? That Kollel Yisrael took a big punch in the past couple of weeks, right? And I heard things in the past week which I wanted to almost vomit. They made me so disgusted from the Chashuv people. Because the transformation in the past 2 weeks of Kollel Yisrael from 2 weeks ago to today is incredible. And we have to realize that this is happening from the Erev Rav, as the Zohar said, and the Vilna Gaon speaks about it over and over again. He says before the Gula comes, the Erev Rav are going to try to completely destroy Kollel Yisrael. And it's a chashuv family. Her father's sefer is here prominently displayed in our Beis Medrash. Yeah, I heard this many times from Moshe Shapiro. He brought it from Divrei Chazal. You can have in one family a tzaddik gomer and the Erev Rav, and someone from the Erev Rav. Right? The Erev Rav were the neshamas that Moshe Rabbeinu accepted without asking Hashem, and they came into Kollel Yisrael, and they can manifest themselves anywhere in one family. Right? We know Rav Dan Segel. Rav Dan Segel's brother was an Apikor's gomer. And Lamaisa, when Rav Dan's mother was nifter, he threw his brother out of the levaya. Yeah, and this is the matzav today. We can have a tzaddik gomer and an Erev Rav in the same family, brother sister, brother, father's daughter, and that is that's what's going on. So we have to know that this is what's going on, and it's taking many manifestations where how it's identifying himself. But particularly, we have to understand now there is a war going on, and they're trying these Choser B'Sheila, especially this woman. She's working with the major non-religious newspapers in Eretz Israel, and their goal is to destroy the Olam HaTorah, and they're doing it by trying to pinpoint individuals who might not, or maybe they're being framed, or maybe they may not have acted properly. But we have to know that if we want to make it through this tekufa, right, which we know that it's going to be a very difficult tekufa, we have to strengthen ourselves, understand what's going on, and prepare ourselves for this.